Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna turn this thing on, and we're gonna turn this off.
It's only a matter of
Shh. Don't want to get copyright infringements. Okay, we're in the system. We got up and running. So one of my viewers asked, "Can you get video on this?" Let's take a look. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Southdown Garage. We're dealing with a stock stereo here. We have no Bluetooth. The steering wheel is clean of any buttons, so we have nothing to make calls legally. So what we're going to do today, we're going to upgrade the Alpine 11-inch F411, I think. But I will put it right here in the screen so I look like I know what I'm doing. You want to start with disconnecting your battery like I have. Next, let's take a look at how this comes apart. So you put your fingers in the bottom here, you pry this portion out. It's not, I'll be honest, this part's easy. The harder, oh, there's a connector. Of course there is. Anyways, gonna leave that for a moment if I don't wreck it. One thing to keep in mind, if you disconnect your airbag light, you turn the ignition on like I did, you're gonna have major problems. So your airbag light's gonna come on, it's gonna stay on, and it's gonna say, oh my goodness, there's a problem. So if you guys did this, take a look at this other video. Voila. Okay. Next, grab your T15. I've undone every other one, so you don't have to watch my bup. I'm sure that's exciting. So now that's done, we can yank this out. Pop you open. Out the come und travel. Okay, so that's out. Stereo out. Easy peasy, right? This is the easy part for sure. Next is getting all this other wiring in here. So to do that, we should first talk about the wiring. It is a convoluted mess of a bunch of stuff. I love wiring. I love it. It's fairly straightforward on this harness. Like most, you have your speaker wire, which is all color coded. The thing to recognize with this stereo, however, is this does not have a power wire that has constant 12 volts. So this is what we're going to have to wire in now that we have this all apart. And then we can plug this in. We definitely test everything before any install, because if it doesn't work, boy oh boy, are you going to be a happy camper. Next, we're going to plug this in. We're going to connect the power wires, test it all, and then we can make this nice, wrap it up in tape. Here's the steering wheel controls, which I won't need because we don't have steering wheel controls. And it runs this Navi box, which is supposed to make it easier so that you can just connect one of these wires to your park circuit, so you don't have to go looking for that lovely thing. But we don't know until we try. Stop. Do not connect this power wire in this application. Leave this power wire disconnected. It does not use a constant 12 volts, specifically because it will give you full power until you take that key out. So do not hook up this red wire, or this will happen. But that should not be on. Oh dear. Oh. So you don't need to hook up that power wire. That's cool. Keep this in mind, this wire here, the red wire, if it is connected to this deck, it will have 12 volts. So do not stuff this back in there without wrapping that in shrink tube or literally just cutting it and making a terminating connection here. So interesting information. So we've got everything out here. It's all center consoles in the back there. Very fun. Very fun. If you want to see that video, hit this link here. That's such a fun job. So if you already know how to do this, that's okay. If you don't, I apologize, but I'm gonna put that in a different video so that everybody else can sort of just see what they need to see and then go from there. It is not fun to get in here, I'll tell you that much, folks. If you can find this wire, so that's what we want to find out right now. We want to find out which of these wires is positive and which one is negative. So this here is positive. So complete brown wire is positive. Stripe on it is positive. You do not want to hook that up to there. It'll never work, and probably blow some stuff up. So let's quickly take a look here. There we go. I was like, why is there no voltage? Okay, so we have 10.65 volts. That's not good. Why is it so low? This thing didn't even start. Okay, so we've just got the stereo installed here, but this wire is actually heat. Oh, darn. Okay, so we're gonna see if this works here. It is not working. Why? That is really frustrating. So I guess we're going back to the switch. All this work for nothing. Okay, so we've got it still out of the car. Now let's switch over to options. We're gonna use the toggle switch. And the toggle switch works. So if you're having this issue, one thing to keep in mind is if you're getting a 12 volt source at all, it may not allow you to use the system at all. So when it's off, it'll have a 12 volt source. All it needs is a ground to break for this to work. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to install it in the cover that will sit in the very bottom of my center console right there. And then all I'm going to do is switch that for now. I got to figure out why this isn't working. Super annoying, I know. So if you're having the same issue, maybe take a look at that wire there and go from there. Okay, so we've got the wiring. I decided to run the wiring for the amp because of how difficult this was to take apart, because I don't have plans to do this twice. So with this is the switch. It's kind of a crude thing, but this is all we're using for now because that's all I had. This will go in the center console in the bottom, so we can just quickly switch it on and off. I got a new piece coming. There'll be a USB thing right over here where I can plug my phone into. It'll be great. Everything will be great. All right, so that's that. Everything's together. We've connected the wire for the remote wire and the amp cables. So now we can start putting this rugged mess back together, because I have an appointment to leave for in 10 minutes as usual. So this wire has been heat shrunk so that it won't ground out, because that has live power. So now we can just go ahead and start putting everything back together. Okay, so we've connected the two screws underneath here. We've connected these two screws here. Now, the last part is this piece here. If you do not put this in, it will not turn on. I mean, a great anti-theft device. You don't even have to have it plugged in. Okay, so now that that's in, we can successfully turn this on and I can start showing you the features. Okay, we're in the system. We got up and running. So one of my viewers asked, can you get video on this? Let's take a look. So we've just got a simple USB stick. We're just gonna plug that into our USB port. Okay, that's plugged in. We're gonna hit there, no file. Why is there no file? Okay, so it's showing pictures off for your safety. Okay, so this is your park brake line. So you want to make sure this is hooked up to your park brake. If it's not, I'm going to shut my ignition off because I don't need it on, because this will keep the memory. If you have this off or not connected to your park brake, it will not play this. So what I've done is I ran this to a ground source. So this blue is ground, and then connected this. And all you have to do is switch it off, switch it back on, because it has to see the connection break and then come back.
At the end of the crankshaft here.
So this is, if you haven't seen this video, I'll have a link up here. So that's how you get your video to work with the navigation system with this specific deck. You have to have that park brake set up to ground with a switchable button, or you can do it the way you should do it and go park brake off, park brake back on, and then it will allow you to watch video while you're parked. This has not been hooked up to a bypass, so I'm not going to do a video on that. I'm not going to discuss that right now. So that's how you know you have everything working. So when you're in here, you're looking at your settings. This is your settings. Oh my goodness, I can't see anything. This is your first notion to tell you you do not have your park brake switch enabled. Once you enable that switch, you'll see all these functions come up. All of them, all the ones will come up, every single one of them. You'll have your camera, your Bluetooth settings. So if you want to add a Bluetooth setting, add a Bluetooth, you just click here. Then you bring up your phone. I'm just going to delete mine quickly to show you how to do that. You just hit the delete button, it will delete it. And then if you want to bring it up again, you grab your phone and you bring your phone up like this. Okay, so now we're going to go down. We're going to see that this symbol is down here. We're going to click on it. Yes, I'd like to pair. Yes, I'd like to pair. And it's that easy. Now it's connected. Everything is happy. When you go to your phone book settings, it will download all of your phone book and everything else in here. Yeah, so that's great. Sync. Yes. Yes, allow. You want to make sure you're always updating your phone book anyways, so you can make all your calls and everything else you want to do. Now you got your phone connected. You can go to Bluetooth audio. You can play the music you have here. Okay, I'm gonna mute that so I don't get a copyright strike against me. So the really nice thing about this is the option to go, because it does not have its own maps. So it's pretty basic. You can set all this stuff up. You can move things. You can add things. You can change this all around. I haven't done any of that because I'm really boring. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do Android Auto. I'm going to show you that right now. Here we are. It's going to automatically bring up the maps. All right, now I'm going to show my address. It's dumb. Oh yeah. Yes. So brings up your maps. You can play your music. If you want to make a phone call, you can say, hey, you can click this button. It's really comes up. It's really helpful. Hello, Google. Bye-bye, Google. So that's really helpful. When you're in the normal settings, you hit this button. It's not as easy as Google or Siri. So if you click over here, you bring up all of your platforms. I have Plex. I don't know if it will let me play video actually. Might not know items. Okay, that's weird. Oh, maybe I don't have that phone set up. Well, okay, so that's my only video platform on here is my Plex. I don't know if I've actually ever set that up on this phone. You don't get YouTube. You don't get a bunch of other ones that you'll get on Google platforms, which is kind of helpful. I like those setups because you can just sit there before work. You can watch it, but you get your radio player. You get whatever. If you like your station, this is Canada, so it's Radio Player Canada app. Also has a Peak app. It has your Spotify, so you can go literally back to your no items. What? Oh, shut my Wi-Fi off. Maybe that's what's going on. That's weird. Okay, there you go. All right, so we have you can go and search your music settings, and this does not follow the park brake switch. So if you are driving, you can still check all this stuff out. You can go to your library, whatever your library is, your podcasts, all that stuff, all that save stuff. Let's see now. Let's see if I can do Plex. Okay, so it does not allow you to watch video through this app, so that's kind of disappointing. That's Android Auto for you, so I think it's pretty helpful. It's really nice. And then you can easily go back to your main menu. So if you're listening to radio, I don't know if a whole lot of you do this, but if you listen to radio, so you got radio on right now, because it would be playing your Spotify. If you click this button here, it will come out of the radio settings. It will take you right back to here, and it will stop. So you have to do this differently. So if you want to listen to radio, you click on your radio button. You go back here to the beginning, then you click on your Android Auto setting. It will take you back here. You can still listen to the radio and everything else. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like this video, give me a like. Think about subscribing to see some more content. For the subscriber that specifically asked for this feature, I hope this helps you understand that it is working. You just have to make sure that your park brake wire is hooked up to a ground and a switch, and that you're able to toggle it off and on, just like I have right now. I am going to take this apart and I'm going to set it up the correct way. I just basically did this so I had the functionality of it, because as you can see in the install portion of the video, it got dark. I just wanted to go to bed. If you ever have a question, feel free to leave a comment. I do answer all my comments. I'm fairly quick about it. I want to make sure that you guys have a good experience coming by here. So let me know what you think. Even if it's negative, I will take it into account. I have changed videos based on some comments that were helpful feedback. So I also wanted to introduce this new vehicle. It is going to be on the channel. It is a VW TDI. For all you guys that watch my other videos with my sports wagon, this is a comfort line Jetta. It is so bone basic. We are going to do some stuff on it, so I just want to introduce this. If you disconnect your airbag light, you turn the ignition on like I did, you're going to have major problems. So your airbag light's going to come on, it's going to stay on, and it's going to say, oh my goodness, there's a problem. So if you guys did this, take a look at this other video and We will see you next time on another episode of South Down Garage. Take care. Bye-bye.